You'll capture.
Yeah.
For sure. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever you're watching us from. Um, this is still your sport program, World Round Soccer Shots, with Kenny and BODE. We're so sorry we are a little bit behind today. Hi, buddy. Why don't you say hello to our listener?
Hi, listeners all over the world. How are you doing today? And our viewers on YouTube, how are you doing? It's nice to be here today talking to you about sports.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, let's get to it, buddy. It's been this weekend, there's um, a little break from all over the world for the sports, for the club sports, and now everybody's like playing a World Cup qualifier. Um, let's talk about Nigerian team at the moment. What is happening there? Do you think Nigeria stand a chance to actually qualify for the World Cup?
Thank you so much, Kenny, for that question. As it is now, it's very difficult for Nigeria to qualify. This is my own personal analysis of the whole situation because we have an important game coming up on Tuesday, tomorrow, against South Africa in South Africa. And if we could not win that game, that means Nigeria is out of the competition. I mean, we cannot qualify. So we have to try as much as possible to win that game in South Africa tomorrow and pray to God that the 3 points that South Africa, I mean, they're being deducted, it's deducted from them. The 3 points that we expected FIFA to deduct from South Africa is deducted from them. So that is the prayer now.
Yeah, Victor Osimhen is actually ruled out for tomorrow's game. Do you think that um, who do you think can actually fit into that role for Victor Osimhen? I know we're going to miss him greatly, in that match, but he actually picked up a knock in our last game against Rwanda.
Yeah.
So, who do you think will be able to wear the big shoe to replace Victor Osimhen?
Thank you for that question. As it is now, like you said, Victor is out for that game. And we also have two quality strikers on that team that could replace him. We have Tolu Arokodare from Wolves. We also have Desire. I don't know what club is he playing for.
The guy just signed for Olympiacos,
Olympiacos of Greece. So he's one of the best strikers. I
Panathinaikos.
mean, he's a prolific goal scorer. So we have those two strikers that can come in and take the position of Osimhen tomorrow. All I pray for is luck, and I pray that the chances that will be created should be converted. If they can do that, that means we have a chance of qualifying to the World Cup.
Yeah, talking about that, do you think the formation that the coach Charles used against Rwanda, do you think he should, change his formation against South Africa, or you think he should maintain, the formation and also the selection that he used, to play a game against everyone there.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to formation, everything is being determined by the coach. And for the coach to determine the formation he's going to use, it depends on the qualities of play of the South African team. They have to look at the South African team. They have to look at their system of play. They have to look at the formation. They have to look at the way they attack when they have the ball. They have to look at the way they defend when they have the ball, when they don't have the ball. Sorry. So, so if they could do that, if they could analyze the South African team and very well, then the coach can say, okay, this is the formation I think is the best system that we can use to win the game tomorrow. So it depends on how the South Africa have played in the past 6 games. That will determine the kind of system of or formation the coach will use tomorrow.
Yeah, I know a game against Rwanda. The coach actually, make a how will I put it, like um, you actually use because in the defense he had to bench the Super Eagles captain, the names of Williams Trust
Yeah.
Ekong, and he actually brought in a new guy. This guy that plays in Brentford, Brentford
Mm,
U team.
mm.
So I mean, do you think
I was
in
surprised when
such?
I saw him on the field too, but I mean, they should. I mean, something must have happened for him to have introduced that guy to the team because the captain was left on the bench, and he brought in a new young talent to represent him, and the guy did fantastically well that day. I mean, we should just be patient and encourage him. But the coach knew the reason why he left Ekong on the bench, and he didn't say it to anybody. But I believe it's for tactical or for some other reasons.
Yeah, also, like recently, we noticed that Nigerian, they have been, very poor in front of goals. Like most of the games, if they play now, is probably 1-0, 2-1. We only, I mean, what do you think? Like Shaw needed to, like, bring into the team so that our striker could be able to, like, at least could be performing well, or that is scoring all the chances. I know that we had a lot of scoring chances against Rwanda, but we were not clinical enough in front of goals. So, I mean, what kind of, like things that you think a child should be able to, like, speak with the team so that that can actually, bring the good days of Super Eagle, back to the team?
Yeah, thank you for that question. Like the last game the Nigerian Super Eagles played, I mean, we created a lot of chances, but we could not convert them. And if you look at the goal we scored, for us to have even win that game, that means I mean it was by luck, you know. And what I think the coach could do now is to try as much as possible work on finishing. I mean, the next 2 days should be about finishing, 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 finishing. For the strikers, for the midfielders, and for the entire team, they have to convert the chances that they created. At least in the game, you should be able to score one, or I mean, you should be able to score 2 goals from an open play. So they should work on their finishing from the flanks, finishing from the center, and from inside the box with the strikers. And they should also work on the supplies from the midfielders to the strikers so that they can have enough supplies. I mean, if they get enough supplies, I believe they can score more goals.
Yeah, talking about scoring more goals, what are our chances against South Africa? Like talking about South Africans, they have a good, formidable team, and majority of their players, plays, in their local league. And these guys have been playing together for a very long time. What do you think our chances with South Africans?
Well, the game is gonna be a massive game, and as it is now, Nigeria is at disadvantage because one, we're playing away from home. The crowd, the South Africans will be behind their team. Two, the South African team have been together for a long time. Three, most of these South African players played together in the same league. And like the last Nations Cup, about eight of them played in the same team, you know. So the only way Nigeria can win this game is through experience, experience, determination, and luck. If the players are very determined and with the qualities of players we have and the experience, I think we should be able to overcome South Africa. We should not allow the crowd or the intimidation to affect us psychologically.
Hmm.
We should go all out, play our game the way we're supposed to play, try as much as possible to reduce tension from the crowd. I mean, and pay attention to details and convert our chances.
Yeah, thank you, Buddy.
You're
Like
welcome.
so I'm still like trying to stay on the Super Eagle because we know that the game tomorrow we actually determines our qualification for the World Cup.
Yes.
So let's assume that Super Eagle, probably or maybe we play draw. Do you think that we can actually make the team maybe one of the best loser or something? Is there anything like that, that can actually qualify for the World Cup?
I don't think so because if we get a tie tomorrow, that's the end of the Super Eagles. Because as it is now, the Beninois, the Scooters of Benin, they are above the Super Eagles of Nigeria
Hmm.
on the log, you know. So all we needed is to win that game. And we have three more games before the World Cup qualifiers ends. And we got to have that 9 points if we want to qualify to the World Cup.
Hmm.
If we lose a point or if we have a tie in a game, that's the end of Nigeria. I mean, with my own analysis, there might be other ways or permutations that Nigeria could qualify, but with what I've seen so far, we have to win the three games for us to be able to qualify to the World Cup.
Yeah, thank you for that. Let's talk
Yeah,
about the England team. England, play against Andorra.
and,
So they played
0.
2-0. Like almighty England, playing 2-0. They were, so the game were not really
Entertaining.
entertaining at all, and they were very lackluster and everything on that game. So what do you make of England, team at the moment?
Well, thank you, Kenny, for that question. I watched the highlight of that game between England and Andorra, and the final score was 2-0. The English team created a lot of chances, but they could not convert them. And the enthusiasm, I didn't see the enthusiasm, I didn't see the passion from the three Lions players in that game. You know, they played that game as if there was nothing at stake. I mean, as if they came to practice. That was the way I saw it. But uh, well, all that matters is the 3 points, and they got it. So I believe in their next game they have to come out, give their best, and see if they can win with more goals margin.
Yeah, thank you for that. Like talking
Welcome.
about England, do you think, like ever since they appointed, their new coach, do you think England has been really, being of, the force to reckon with, ever since they have appointed a new coach? As do you think he has really been bring a lot of competition, like a lot of, stability, in that team?
Well, to be honest with you, Kenny, since the German guy came in to manage the Three Lions, I have not really seen the passion. I mean, I think the other English guy, Gareth Southgate, that was managing the team,
Mhm.
I mean, was doing a good job before he left. I mean, but since Tuchel came in, the English Three Lions team have been a shadow of themselves. You know, I've not really seen that changes. I've not seen the that uniqueness in that team. You know, and I think the manager should just watch it and do the right thing. The English team is not what it used to be. So, for me, they have to wake up and do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, thank you for that. Do you think that Hurricane should still be like a color for for England duty?
Yeah, of course. That's one of the most prolific goal scorer in Europe. You know, and if he could be playing regularly for Bayern Munich, then why should the English national team not call him? I mean, week in, week out, he score goals for Bayern Munich. So, I mean, he's not a bench warmer. So, he deserves to be in that team. He deserves to be the captain of that team. I think he's the most experienced player on that field or in that team. So, and if he keeps doing what he knows how to do, why? He should be invited and he should be playing every game.
Yeah, and I know the like a new um like the new guy. There were a lot of new guys that England actually invited to to the team. They brought in the the AC Milan guy, that has been in England with wilderness, for a while. So I'm just like looking at the looking at the team that they actually invited to the for the qualifier. So Ruben Lifchik, they invited, like it's just been recalled. He has been away from national team for like about 5 years now. So I think they brought him up to beef up with the midfielder. So they actually, calling Hurricane. I mean, Hurricane calling Rashford. I'm surprised they call Rashford, to England. Phil Foden. Noni Madueke Watson. He has not been, being the best. For Aston Villa. Aston Villa has been like in they've been the shadow of themselves for this season. So it's been so. I'm just surprised about the list of England that. Teacher actually call for this qualifier.
Yeah, for the English team, I think the coach brought in too many new players in that team. And professionally speaking, as a coach, I think if you want to build a team, if you have a solid team before, you should just bring in one, two players in a position that you think that you might need them, you know. And introducing new players is a thing that you're gonna be doing gradually. You can't because look at the team that Gareth Southgate left behind. These are world class players. They got to the World Cup semi final. They got to the European Cup finals. You know, so they are good. All you could have done is to bring in one or two players that you think that might help the team. You know, but as it is now, he brought in so many new players. Now it's gonna be a new thing entirely. A new set of players that have to adapt to the ways in which they will be playing. You know.
Yeah, I know that a lot of England players, so they actually injured. The Jude Bellingham, Kyle Saka, Cole Palmer. And I think Jack Grealish needs to be invited. I mean, need to be in that color. But I'm just surprised. Consider if we are to go by what Jack Grealish has, the way he played for Everton this season. I mean, the for the three games that they have played so far, he has really their last game. He actually had like a two assists,
Mhm.
on that game, and he really played, a lot of game. So if we were to go by the three games that he has played so far, I think he should have have his space. in that lineup.
Yeah, on Grealish, I think he's just coming back. If you look at Grealish last season, he didn't really have enough playing time with Manchester City. And this is a new season now. He just signed up for Everton, and he has only played 3 games for them. So I think the coach did the best thing by giving him more time to continue with his club football. Let's see what happens by the time the league is in week 10. If he is still consistent with the way he's playing, then they can invite him down and bring him back to the team.
Right. Yeah. So let's move away from that. Let's talk about the other national team that that might also qualify. They talk about the African national team that might also be qualified for the World Cup. Nigeria is actually struggling right now,
Yeah.
and we are talking about the Moroccan team. What you think they also, I think Morocco team, Ivory Coast, those are the team that I think my the Senegal team, the Ivory Coast, these are the
Strongest teams.
strongest team that
Yeah.
we expect to
Yeah.
dominate the group. So, do you think Nigerian, oh, like I'm just looking at the way the Ni- I'm just coming back to Nigeria now. The way Osime is being used, that do you think we actually need a real midfielder that can actually lay passes for Osime? Like I discovered that because I'm just talking about our striker, because we have top class striker
Hmm.
in the world in the person of Victor Osimhen, but he has not been like scoring goals for Nigerian national team. So do you think Nigeria actually need like a top midfielder that can be able to like do those like passes for Osimhen, that can be so know how to run behind striker, and he can is very physical, I mean very powerful, he can run and all that. So I just think that we don't have a creative midfielder that can be able to like do those job for
Yeah.
Osimhen.
Uh, Thanks, Kenny, for that. Osime is a world-class striker, a very good center forward, and like you said before, he needs to get supplies from the midfield and from the wings for him to be able to score goals. When he was in Italy
Mm.
with Napoli, he was getting supplies. He was getting the passes. That was why he was able to be the highest goal scorer in the Italian Serie A. He did the same thing in Belgium. He also did the same thing in France before he left to Napoli. And as it is now, like you said, he's not getting enough supply. And for him to reciprocate his form in his club to the Super Eagles of Nigeria, I mean, he has to get supplies from the midfield players and from the wingers. So if he's not getting supplies, there's nothing he could do. He will only be frustrated on the field. So the supplies should be coming in from the midfield and from the flanks.
Yeah, like last we talk about the list of player that actually move across the across the Europe. So I understand that some of these Nigerian players also move to across Europe.
Hmm.
So let's talk about these are Tolu Aroko Dare
Yeah.
that move to Wolves from Genk. I mean, I know Wolves has been a little bit struggle this season. So do you think that Tolu Aroko Dare has the quality to replace Konha that was, that Wolves actually sold to Manchester United?
Yeah, thank you so much for that question, Kenny. I think Tolu, if you watch his antecedent, he's a very experienced striker. He has played in Belgium. He won the highest scorer in the Belgian league. He has played in Germany before. He has also played in France. So he's an experienced striker. And for Wolves to have signed him on, that means they knows what he can do. They have made an assessment on him. They've watched his videos. They've watched his games. They've sent scouts to Genk to watch him, and they know it's gonna be an added, addition, a good addition to that team. So it was a good sign up from Wolves, and I think Tuli is gonna help them this season.
Nice. So, Victor Musi, I mean, Victor Boniface also moved from Bayern Leverkusen to Werder Bremen. So, after a failed Milan move, he secured a temporary switch to stay, competitive. So, what kind of attacking force do you think Victor is going to bring to Werder Bremen?
There's no doubt Victor is a good striker. I mean, if you watch his antecedents with Bayern Leverkusen, when he was in form, I mean, he scored a lot of goals for that team. And he was not able to go to AC Milan. With what I read online, I mean, they said it was a political struggle. For Milan, they was trying to change their leadership. So the new president that is coming in does not want him. That was why it's not that he didn't pass medicals, no. And I think he made a good decision by going to Werder Bremen. Werder Bremen is a very good team in Germany, and they've been in the Bundesliga for a long time. And I think he will perform well with Werder Bremen because he has the qualities and he knows the league like the back of his palm. So he should be able to perform.
Yeah, awesome. Wilfred, like one thing I want to ask you, but like, what is the deal about the Turkish league that most of the Nigerian players are actually moving to Turkey? Wilfred Indidi just moved from Leicester City to Besiktas. So for 9.5 million euro. So I mean, what do you think is happening
I think the
in
Turkish league
Turkish
is a
league?
new maker because with my understanding of the Turkish league, I think it's tax free
Hmm.
for the players.
Oh,
So yeah, I think it's tax free for the players, and the quality of play is also good in Turkey, and the players will have the freedom to express themselves. You know, so I think Turkey is a good place for Nigerian players to start. And if you look at some of the past Nigerian players, I mean, great Nigerian players that we had in the past, like Jejo Kocha, Uche Kuchiku, and Co. They all started in Turkey.
hmm.
Amokachi, they all played in Turkey before they moved to the main, before they moved to Western Europe. So I think Turkey is a good place to start and is a good league to play in. Uh, to also help the Turkish league by bringing in quality players from the Western world to Turkey.
Nice. So, like talking about the Turkish league, I also want to like, the Samuel Chuke is also moved from AC Milan to Fulham. So, do you think the game style of Fulham will actually suit Samuel Chukwueze?
On Chukwueze, I think that was a very good move. I think the style of play of Fulham will also, I mean, it will fit in perfectly well because he's a very skillful player. He has the speed, he has the aggression, he, he's very powerful. So, and this is all the qualities you need for you to play in the Premier League. You got to be fast, you got to have the game intelligence, you got to have the skills, and you got all these things. So I think for Chukwueze to have moved to Fulham, I think that was a very good move. And this time he's going to have a lot of playing time. He's not going to be on the bench like he used to be with AC Milan and he comes in as a sub. With Fulham, he's going to be having a regular 90 minutes of play on the field of play.
Nice. So, if you still want to be part of the program, the number to call is 469-918-0418. If you are calling outside the US and you want to be part of the program to make your contribution, you can add +1, and you can call us as through WhatsApp as well. You can also leave a message for us, and you can also watch us live on our YouTube channel Kenny Baba underscore K, and you can also download the app Echo Vibe FM, an online radio station in the United States. You can download the app. It's on Android and it's also on the Apple Store. You can download the app and so that you can listen to us live on the radio. Um, so the number to call once again is a +1 469 918 0418 +1 469 918 0418. Yeah, yeah. Thank buddy. And also
You're
let's talk
welcome.
about you know the Moses Simon. Moses Simon move. I know Moses Simon he has really had his share in Nantes. He spent like many years,
In not
in Nantes. And now he has moved to Paris FC, a newly promoted, team that just promoted to the League One. Um, consider what he has achieved so far. With Nantes. So, what kind of pedigree is he going to bring into the newly promoted Paris FC team?
well, thank you, Kenny, for that. For Paris FC, that's a new team that just got promoted from League Two to League One. And as it is now, they would like to bring in experienced players to be able to compete with the likes of PSG, Montpellier, Lyon, and Moyes Monaco for the league. So for Moses Simon, well, I think he has paid his dues with Nantes FC. I spent so many years there, like you said before, and he needed a change. Paris FC will be a good place for him to express his footballing skills and express his talents. And I think he will be a regular player in that team. Fantastic player, Moses Simon, very, very intelligent with a lot of speed and skills. So I think he's a good addition for Paris FC. And I think that was a good move for Moses Simon as well.
Yeah, let's talk about the Cristantos Uche that moves from Getafe, to Crystal Palace. What kind of um, quality is it going to bring into the Premier League, this season?
Yeah, thank you on that. For Chris Santos, I've not really taken my time to watch him, so I won't be able to comment much about his abilities on the field of play. But for a team like Crystal Palace who have invested that kind of money on him, that means he has some good qualities. Because no English team will invest such amount of money on an unknown player, you know.
Hmm.
And so they would have done their own work very well. They would have made their visibility studies, analyze the whole situation, look at his qualities in front of goals, look at his what it can bring to the team to up the team, and that was why they went for him. I think that was a good addition, and I think that was a good move for Chris Santos. I just wish him the best in Crystal Palace.
Nice. So that was great, and like I want to also let's talk about the Chidozie Awazin that moved from Colorado Rapid, the MLS team to
Mm.
Nate. This is second return to French, football. So aiming for stability and the regular playing time. I'm just surprised that I'm talking about like Alcido's wasn't he hasn't been like getting the regular playing time even though he plays in a US team. But Shell still invited him to the national team.
Well, yeah. If you look at Awaziem, he's an experienced player. Awaziem, when he came to limelight with FC Porto from the youth team, fantastic player, good midfield players, good. He has good intelligence of the game. And what happened was the problem he had was when he went to the US, or when he came to the US here, and for you to play for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, you have to be playing mainstream Europe. You can't be playing in the MLS and you expected the Super Eagles to invite you down to play for the Super Eagles. No, and I think he has made a good move back to Europe to Nats, and that was why he was invited down. And for the coach to have invited him, that means he needs him, to come into the team because he is a versatile player. He can play in everywhere in the back four. He can also play in the midfield. And if you look at the last game, I think maybe the captain was injured. I don't know what happened to the Nigeria captain. So if anything should have happened to any of the back four, Awazian would have been introduced. Awazian would have been introduced. So I think that was a good move for him, and it was a good call up by the coach.
Yeah, let's thank you for that analysis. So let's talk about the US national team. Um, I know they've been struggling as well to actually stay on top of the group for the World Cup qualifier. So like since the appointment of Pochettino into the national team, like if you go by, their last four games, the results that they've had, so far in the last four games, they actually lost, to South Korea 2-0 on the game they played the first day on the September 6th. The game against Costa Rica, they played draw, and they played the game they play on a June like against Haiti. So they want like Haiti, they still struggle. They want 2 goals to 1. So and also again the Trinidad and Tobago, they won with with a match with a large margin of 6-0. Like looking at the U.S. national team that was struggling so far, what do you think um, Pochettino has bring into the team?
Well, Kenny, on that, I think I'm surprised the Argentine Pochettino is still managing the United States national team. You know, if it is in Europe, it would have been fired. Yeah, that's true. Since he came in to manage the team, I mean, we have not had a good result. If you look at the United States team, we've been struggling in all games. Look at the game against Haiti. Haiti is one of the lowly ranked soccer nation in the world, and a sophisticated team like the United States struggle to win against. You know, so he has not really performed the magic he performed with PSG, with Tottenham Hotspur, and with
Hmm.
Chelsea here in the United States. He has not performed, so he should uh, wake up from his sleeps and give us what we need to see. And if he's not giving us the result, I think he should do the honorable thing by resigning, or the United States Soccer Federation executive should just part ways with him.
So like talking about the Pochettino trying to like talk about his analysis since taking over the US team. I mean, he has played a total game of 17 matches so far.
Mhm.
With a record of a 9 win. He had a 1 draw and he has 7 losses. So the team has really, really struggled against high rank opponents.
Yeah, look at that analysis. Look at that statistics very well. The 9 games he won against which teams?
That is what I said. Like,
Yeah,
they've really, really struggled
against the
against
bigger
a
teams.
big
How
team.
many
So
games has he won?
yeah.
Yeah, he has only won games against the lesser teams, lesser ranked team. Against the bigger teams, he has not won big games like that. So that is, to me, that is not a good statistics.
So I mean, the South Korea, I mean, they were defeated by South Korean.
Yeah,
They were defeated by Mexico. They were defeated by Turkey. They were
okay.
defeated by Canada as well.
Canada, look at that. So when you lose a game against Canada, you lose against. I mean, there was a game I watched. I think it was a friendly game, and they lost about 4-0 or 3-0 to one of these national teams. You know, I mean, you can't be losing games like that, and you think you want to keep your job. No, that is not right. United States have some good quality players playing in some of the top teams in Europe. So, if you think something is wrong somewhere, just fix it. I mean, the United States Soccer Federation brought you in to fix the problems. I mean, if you can't fix it, then just quit. The US team has become a shadow of themselves since he became the manager of that team. So Argentine Pochettino should just do the honorable thing, resign and leave us alone.
Yeah, talking about leaving us alone, like like the summary that I would like push, bring, like despite his wealth of experience and his positive mindset, for the
Mhm.
for the USA team, but his inconsistency in performance and lack of a clear tactical directions, these are led to like growing concern about is, like people are actually calling for his head,
Of
people
course.
are actually, like saying they don't really understand, his but seriously, I was really, really, surprised, when he was being appointed as a coach of a, our US national team.
Well, I'm not surprised because I mean he's one of the most sought after coaches in the world. Look at his antecedent. Look at where he was coming from. For a man that took Tottenham Hotspur to the Champions League final, that was not easy. It took Paris Saint Germain to the final too. PSG to the final of the UEFA Champions League. He took Chelsea. I mean, he was
No, too close.
I mean, he managed Chelsea and he won trophy with them. Did he not win trophy?
No, no.
He didn't win a trophy. He didn't win it. Okay. So he has a lot of experience, in his skating, and he has done very well managing some of the top teams in the world. So for United States to offer him a job, that means they know his qualities. And since he came into the US to manage the national team, he has been a disaster. I'm sorry to say, he has not really performed. And we have quality players here in the United States. I mean, that he can call upon to help, but I don't know what's going on with him. A different game, different players, different tactics. So something is wrong somewhere.
So, like, like the US team are currently, ranked 48 globally. That is the lowest since 1997, trailing the nations such as, Iran and Chile. So, like, they're actually behind Iran. So, like, I'm just saying, like, Pochettino is not is, this is not what the US actually bargained for.
Well, like I said before, I don't think Pochettino is the right man for the job. Couple of years ago, when the United States when they brought in the German Jurgen Klinsmann, what happened? He failed
Mm.
and he left. So if they think Pochettino is not giving them the right results, or is not, I mean, we don't have a clear direction of where he's taking the team to. The best thing if Mr. Pochettino could do is to leave, or the United States Soccer Federation should part ways with him.
Yeah, I mean, talking about pathway with him, like, those, like, talking about those coaches. Sometimes I just felt that some of those coaches feel that those players are more bigger than them, and they find it difficult to actually control them or to actually instill some discipline in them. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't think so. I don't think so because for you to be, that is why they don't, at the highest level, they don't call them coach, they call them managers. You manage that team, and no player is above the manager because you dictate what is going to happen on and off the field of play. They give you free hand to do everything. So if anything happens to that team, if you think this player is not listening to you, if you think this player could not fit into that team, then why did you invite him? I will cite an example for you. The 2002 World Cup, when Professor Felipe Scolari took the Brazilian national team to the World Cup and he won the World Cup, the whole of Brazil was begging him to go with Romario. Even the president of Brazil then called him on phone that he should go with Romario. And he said no, that Romario could not fit into my team. Because of that incident, he took his family from Brazil to Argentina to leave because he was thinking if he didn't win the World Cup, there's gonna be a
No
trouble.
problem.
Yeah, and luckily for him, he went to South Korea and he delivered. And when he got to Brazil, he was crying like a baby because this is a coach that believe this is what I want to do, and this is the player I think that's gonna help me. You've been given the team to manage. Do it the way you think you're gonna get the results, and he achieved what what he was predestined, what he wanted to achieve by winning the World Cup. He did achieve it, so that was a good one.
Yeah, I mean, just talk. I'm just kind of wondering, like, wondering how those coaches will be able to like manage the big names.
Well, these
Like,
are big coaches too. They are big.
like, like for you with your own experience now,
Yeah,
how will you manage C Ronaldo?
see Ronaldo.
Yes.
Of course,
How will you manage?
I will manage his ego. He has an ego, and I will manage him. I will tell him before games, even in practice, hey, see Ronaldo, this is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna play, and this is what I want you to do for me. This is an instruction. If he's not giving me what I want him, what I wanted from him, why would I use him? I'm not gonna use him because anything happens to that team is not gonna be on say Ronaldo. It's gonna be on me. The same thing happened with C. Ronaldo and the Dutch Ten Hag in Manchester United. He
Okay.
was not using him. Yeah, because he felt you can't give me what I wanted. And the fans were thinking, why is he putting Ronaldo on the bench? I mean, there are reasons for everything. If you think this player is not giving me what I wanted, so why keep using him? Just put him on the bench or let him go. We've seen a lot of quality players, good players that leave one team and go to the other team and they sit on the bench because the coach said, well, he's not playing to instruction.
Yeah, I mean, like talking about that, I like there is always a saying that sometimes if the players doesn't like a coach, they can actually make the coach to be
Of
sacked.
course, they
You
can,
know,
they can. Yeah, that
S-
happens a lot in the game of soccer. That happens, and that is too sad. If they think a coach is not the kind of person that they would like to work with, I mean, they'll just they won't give in their best, and the coach will be fired. A lot of incident like that has happened
yeah,
in the
because
past.
I noticed. I mean, I think I watched Mika, talking about when Benitez came
Benitez, yeah,
to
yeah,
Chelsea, and was just like trying to bench Almighty Terry.
yeah, John Terry, yeah. Even the same
you
thing
know.
happened to Carlo Ancelotti when he went to Bayern Munich. You know, and some of the big players in Bayern, like Arjen Robin and co, didn't like him. They said his style and philosophy were outdated. You know, and he was not able to achieve nothing. He was able to win the league with Bayern Munich, but he was not able to get them to the European Champions League final, and he was let go. So it sometimes it happens in the game when some players think, "Oh, this coach is not the kind of coach we wanted. I don't think he's gonna help the team." So we should just let him go. We won't give him our best.
Yeah, that's it. That is very understanding and very understandable. I just like want to comment on yeah, gonna like if you still want to be part of the program, you can call us on plus 469-918-0418. We just need like go for a little break and we'll be back.
Yeah, I'll call you back. I'm on a radio station. Yeah, granting an interview. I'll call you back. Bye. I got the shake so that Kokon man of clothes don't go with them.
Trying to share. Already. So I don't need
Hmm?
need to be sure.
Yep.
And, yeah, welcome back. This is still your program, What Around the Soccer Shots with Kenny and Bode. Um, we're actually talking about the World Cup qualifier for today. The team that are struggling, the team that has a opportunity to qualify for the World Cup. We talk about Nigerian team. They're actually currently struggling right now, and the chances for them qualifying for the World Cup is a little bit slim, and unless a miracle happens, or probably if they were able to manage to beat Bafana of South Africa tomorrow, the game is gonna be played USC time. It's gonna be like 11 a.m. tomorrow, USC time. It's gonna be like I think it's gonna be like Nigerian time. I can't really remember, but um, so that is Nigerian for you. And we'll talk about the national team of US national team. They too have been struggling, and hopefully they're able to qualify for the World Cup. We also talk about the England national team as well, and actually they were managed to beat Andorra, 2 goals to 0, but they were not really like as formidable as England team that we used to know under the almighty Tuchel. Um, so let's talk about the Spain team. I know Spain has been, they've been really, really massive, for this, for a couple of, years now. So they did very well, for the Euro, and for the National League, Euro National League. So they also do very well in the Euro League as well. So they have been, doing you know, very, very well. So the team, currently on the impressive, sell like a 27 matches unbeaten strike. That is very, very massive. you know, for the Spain national team.
Yeah.
And so they beat England. I mean, they beat Turkey 6-0 to nothing. So that's that is massive, and so and they also have like a 9 goal in this World Cup qualifier, 9 goals without conceding a goal in the group. So they've been really, really, really massive, this season. So talking about some of the players that was invited. So they like I would say majority of the players actually played their, local league. They invited most majority of the players, from the local league, the goalkeeper. So Raya, the
So,
Arsenal goalkeeper. So I don't think Raya was even the first choice for the for them. I think it's like the Atletico Bilbao happened to be the main choice. Simon. So and Danny, Carvajal. So and they also invited Pedro Roro of Tottenham, Robin Lane, Lama, Real Society, Paul Cobaros of FC Barcelona, Daniel Vivian of Atletico Bilbao, Dian. We just seen Juventus and Marco Corella. So the Chelsea, left back. So Alejandra Grimado. So he played for Benfica. They, Rodri of Almighty in Man City. So Mikel Merino played for Real Sociedad. So they also invited Fabian Ruiz. He also plays, PHE, right, Paris Saint Germain. They invited, Gavi. Gavi will play for FC Barcelona. Nico Williams, Atletico
Bilbao.
Bilbao. Alex Ben also play for Villarreal. Martin Zubimendi. He also played for Real Sociedad. So yeah, Pedri, FC Barcelona, Mikel Oyarzabal also play for Real Sociedad, and East Coast play for Real Betis. So they forward in Alvaro Morata. So the almighty Morata play for Juventus. So and Dani Olmo play for RB Leipzig. So Jeremy Pino, so Villarreal, Lamine Yamal, so the almighty Yamal guy,
Hmm.
the Barcelona guy. So Fabian Lopez, Barcelona, and the Samu Real Society. So these are the they have just like key players. So the Rodri won the 2024 Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
So they and he plays as a midfielder. So I think when the guy went on that actually what that's when he went on injury, he actually went on injury for the most of the season. That really affected Manchester City so a lot. So and that these are the things like Spain actually paraded at the moment, and they have a 18-year-old in Lamine Yamal. So the guy just give it to him. The guy is a new Lionel Messi, of our time. So the guy is so the guy also won the young player of the tournament at the Euro. So that they play. So, like they have been so consistent, and they have been, performing like a back to back. So, they play Turkey. They won Turkey by 6-0 to nothing. And the next game is gonna be play on the 10th of September, which is gonna be play against Bulgaria for the World Cup qualifier. So, talking about these things, these are great, great things.
Yeah, thank you, Kenny, for the analysis. If you look at the La Roja, the Spanish national team, like you said, they've played 27 games and they've won 27 games. This team have been consistent since they won the Euros, since they won the Euros 2 years ago. You know, they've been consistent. If you also look at the quality of players they have, 70% of their players play in their league. You know, 70% of the players that were invited play in the Spanish La Liga. You know, apart for some few players that have been invited that play outside La Liga. And also, apart from that, if you look at the qualities of these players, these are world class players. And they have a world class manager who knows his onions, who knows what he wanted to achieve. Uh, he, and In addition to that, these players they've been together for a long time. If you look at the Spanish players, 90% of these players won the Euros with the Spanish national team. Yeah. So 90% of them won the Euros. And if the coach is bringing in new addition, he only brings in one or two players to beef up the team.
Hmm.
So they are consistent. They've been together for a long time. They have that winning mentality. They know themselves. They have a way of playing, and they achieve that collective results together. You know. And for the Turkish team, that was a big slap on the
Definitely.
face. Yeah, that was a big slap on the face of the Turkish team. How could you go to Spain and lose 6-0? You know, for Turkey, that was not good, and I think that should be investigated. Yeah, that's true. Turkey is
Yeah.
a superpower when it comes to soccer, so
Yeah,
they can't. Yeah,
superpower, but they cannot, they cannot match
yeah. Even if you want to
the
lose
level
against
of
the Spanish team, because some of these Turkish players are playing in Spain. You
yes.
know, some of them are playing in Spain. If you want to lose against Spain, I'm not saying you should not lose games, but losing 6-0, that's uncalled for.
Yeah.
Mm.
So like like talking about um the Spanish, national team. Let's talk about the Italian national team now, and like let's see how they've been like performing, in this in this like this World Cup qualifier so far. So they they actually they like doing very well. At least in the recent game, the game they play on September 5th, they were able to win Estonia in the World Cup qualifier like 5 goals to nothing.
Mhm.
So now so but I don't think the game they played today, I don't think they really get it well, like uh
Yeah, I'm listening.
so like they were able to like hedge up by Israel beat them like 5 goals to 4.
Mhm.
So and they actually consider like a own goal, like 2 own goals, this like a defensive error. And with all the everything, and so
Yeah, well, for the Azuri Stars, Kenny, I will tell you this. I think the Azuri Stars have been a shadow of themselves. Since they won the European Championship about 4 years ago in England, when they defeated England at the Wembley Stadium. Since then, they've been a shadow of themselves. And they've hired and fired about two managers. The last time, if I could remember, Luciano Spalletti,
hmm,
the former Napoli manager, was hired. And he only spent a couple of months there before he was fired because the result was not coming.
hmm,
Now they have another Italian legend, person of Gennaro Gattuso, who is managing the team. So let's see how they can compete well in this qualifier, and it's gonna be bad if Italy did not qualify for the World Cup
yeah,
because these are some of the biggest teams in world soccer. So Italy, I mean, we just need to see Italy at the World Cup.
yeah, like so it just like shows, because for Italy to play like a 5 goals to 4 with
Israel,
Israel,
that shows.
that shows that
I
something
mean,
is
that
not really
tells you the
nice.
qualities of the Italian team.
So
Considering 4 goals in a game, where is the Italian defense that we used to know? I
they
mean,
even they even consider like 2 own goals.
two own goals. Look at that.
Yeah.
So they've not been consistent, and they have so many new players in that team. And even the Italian league is going down every day. Look at the team like Juventus that used to produce the bulk of the players, where there are no players to be found. Look at AC Milan; they are struggling too. You know, the only team that is doing well is Napoli and Inter Milan. And if you look at it, how many Italian players do we have in those two teams?
Hmm.
You know, most of them are foreign
Have
players.
foreign players.
Yeah, so I think Italy should just go back to the drawing board and do what is right. You know, They should work on. I mean, they should put rules down. There should be laid down rules that okay, if a team like AC Milan, you should have five Italian players playing. You
Wait,
should have three Italian players starting.
no,
So this is.
it's Italian. What about the French national team?
Even in the French league, I'm talking about the league now. Every team should have three, four
Yeah,
homegrown players playing in that team,
right,
playing the first 11. So this week's gonna help the national team of that country.
right.
In France, teams like PSG should have three French players starting. Montpellier and those teams, and they're gonna have a lot of players to choose from. But when you bring in a new coach and all he has is 11-man players that are gonna start the game are all foreign-based players.
Hmm.
So how do you want the national team of that country to develop? You start going to when you have international engagement, you start going to the lower teams to pick players, going to the championship to pick players because the big teams have been dominated by foreigners. So this should be looked into.
Yeah, I mean, I just the Italian national team. I mean, I would say maybe they've not been, they are not really doing bad, so to say, the Gattuso, he has been concentrating, his attention on the attacking football. But meanwhile, their defense is, is actually suffering right now.
Well, that is your own belief and your own thinking. But as far as I'm concerned, Italian football has gone down. Look at the Italians of Italian team at the Azzurri Stars of Arrigo Sacchi, the ones of Fabio Capello, Luciano, Giovanni Trapattoni.
Gattuso,
Uh, these are great Italian coaches that won trophies. Marcello Lippi, he took them to the final and won the World Cup for them. You know, the likes of Alessandro Di Peru, they've produced some of the best players in this world. Where are they now? How many Italian players can you mention?
Hmm.
I can't even mention one now, apart from Chiesa that plays for Liverpool. And he's not even starting for the Azzurri Stars. He's not a starter. I mean, they used to have good quality players then. These are regular players for their national teams and for their club sides. But where are they now? Nowhere to be found. That was why I said they should look into that and sit down and create a rules that is going to help them to encourage the homegrown players to be playing in the first teams of these top teams.
Yeah, let's talk about the French national team. Like let's say how well they've been, performing this World Cup qualifier. So they open, the World Cup qualifier, with a 2 victory against Ukraine. So and in Poland, on the Michael Olise actually opened the goals in 10 minutes, and Kylian Mbappe, doubled the lead in the 2 minutes.
Mm.
Assisted by the Brady Bacola. So Aaron Shamani, the so the goal mark Mbappe 51 international striking on time with Thierry Henry as a French second highest all time
Go scorer.
scorer behind Olivier Giroud. So talking about Mbappe, I think Mbappe has really is. I think his fame and everything has really gone down since he actually moved to Real Madrid. Don't you think so?
Well, I don't think so because Mbappe is consistent. I mean, look at him in Real Madrid. He's playing regularly and he's still scoring the goals. At the same team with the French national team, he's still scoring the goals. Maybe you've not really watched much of him. That was why you said that. But as far as I'm concerned, Mbappe is still very consistent. I mean, he's so regular. He plays regularly for his country and he plays regularly for his club side, and he still scored the goals. So and that should be. I mean, the nearest future, he should be winning the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, I mean, like talking about Ballon d'Or, who do you think Ballon d'Or goes to? Between Dembele, Mbappe, you know, the rest of the team.
I will go for Dembele because Dembele really did well for PSG. I
So
mean,
against Vinicius Junior.
yeah, Dembele was the man for me. He was consistent. He carried PSG on his head all through to the finals of the UEFA Champions League, and he won them the Champions League. Dembele has been consistent. He also took PSG to the World Club final. So these are achievements. I mean, if Dembele did not win it, well, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I think Dembele was massive and he was phenomenal all through last season.
That's good one. And that will be like a wrap up for us for tonight. We want to thank all our viewers, all our listeners across the globe, and we really appreciate you joining us each time so that we are come live on both on our radio Echo Vibe FM and also on our YouTube and our Facebook channel. I want to thank those that actually join us through our YouTube channels and our TikTok channel. I mean, our Facebook channel as well. And yeah, that's a great discussion tonight. And Nigeria is playing tomorrow, so let's hope for the best. For the team. Let's hope the team will actually make us proud. Being a Nigerian, and
Yeah,
hopefully the national team of United States will also make us proud too,
proud. Yeah.
being an American. So, what can you say about that? And you can also say your closing remark.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kenny, for that. For the Super Eagles of Nigeria, I'm gonna wish them the best tomorrow because that game tomorrow is gonna be like a final game.
What are your predictions, man?
Well, I believe Nigeria can win. You know,
What are your predictions
we
for the
can
goal
win
line?
by 2 goals to 1.
Two goals down. Okay.
Yeah, because we have the qualities, we have the experience, and we can go to South Africa and do what we have to do to get the result we need to get. You know, and which other thing was that?
Our national team, American
The
national team.
national team of the United States. I hope to because it's gonna be a disaster. The United States is one of the countries that is hosting the World Cup.
World Cup, right?
Yeah, I
Host
want to
country.
see. Yeah, we want to see the United States soccer team soar high in the coming World Cup. So if they have to sack the manager to get everything done properly, I think they have to do that. And if they have to reorganize their house and look at the qualities of players they're inviting, I mean, they still got time to do that. But we cannot afford to see the United States team fail, and we cannot afford to see the Nigerian team fail, not to participate at the World Cup as well. So thank you so much, viewers on YouTube and on Facebook, and also our listeners all over the world. It's nice talking sports or talking soccer with you tonight, and I remain yours, Olabode Awako.
Thank you, buddy. And remain yours, Kenny. We will be meeting next week same time. We're a little bit behind today. Our time, our regular time, start 5:30 p.m. US time and 11:30 p.m. Nigerian time. You can join us next week, and you can also go to our YouTube channel to rewatch the sports program tonight that we talked about, and if you've missed out, so you can also always go to our YouTube channel to rewatch the program, and you can also as well like and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you and God bless you. Bye bye.
Bye.
The program, and you can also as well like and